Do chickens need heat during winter? Hi, I am Duran. Join me today as I discuss the many reasons not to supplement heat for your chickens during cold weather. Right now it's about 25 degrees and they don't need the heat. The chickens will come outside regardless of the temperatures. It can be 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside and they will still come out. However, the only thing they don't like is the snow. They don't like to come out when it's snowing. When there is snow on the ground, they will spend most of the time inside their coop. And they'll come out to the run for their feed and water, or they'll spend some time under the coop for a dust bath. Chickens have feathers that provide an excellent insulation, and the birds can fluff their feathers to provide an even warmer coat. Right, Layla? Are you cold? No. Now the layers of feathers will keep the body, the interior of the body of a chicken, to about 106 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 41 degrees Celsius. Now most breeds have no problem keeping warm, even when the temperature falls to 10 or 20 below zero. Now at night they huddle together right here on these two roosts and they warm up each other. They are very, very well insulated. Now one problem with heat lamps inside of a coop is that they can create a fire hazard, especially when you use straw like I do. I use a lot of straw as bedding for the floor of the coop. And my advice is not to supplement the heat in any way. Any type of heating inside of a chicken coop is a waste of energy that is unnecessary. If you keep your coop heated, the chickens will not acclimate to the weather outside. Now if you live in a cold climate, go for a cold hardy chicken like my Australorps and my Wyandottes right here, and Issa Browns. They have very thick coats of feathers. That keeps them warm day and night. Now these chickens do very well here in the winter, but not so well in the summer. However, if you live in a warmer climate, you want to go for a chicken that is heat tolerant. These breeds of chickens do not do well in the heat like in Florida or some other warmer climate. Remember that chickens have been living outside for centuries in cold climates. They don't need us to supplement their heat. And I'm not aware of any homesteader or farmer in my area that supplements heat in any way. And I'm also aware of chicken keepers in Canada and Alaska where the temperatures can fall to 20 or 40 below zero Fahrenheit, and they don't supplement their heat either. And one way to know whether your chicken is cold tolerant is you can check online or go to your local feed store, Tractor Supply or what have you. If they sell that particular breed in your area, then it's cold hardy. You can also ask the personnel that work at these stores about the type of chicken that you're interested in. Now guys, some chickens are susceptible to frostbite on their combs. So you see this black Australorp? She has a small comb, so she's unlikely to get a frostbite. Now some chickens have combs which are way larger than this, 2 or 3 times bigger, and they will get frostbitten. But yeah, the Wyandottes have very small combs, the Barnevelders and the Australorps. Now my Issa Browns, their combs are a little bit larger than this, but so far I've been lucky with them. They haven't gotten frostbitten. All right, you want to go back inside? And I also make food available to them 24/7, and I have a heated water Like I said, it's 25 degrees outside, and this heated water keeps it warm enough and it doesn't freeze. You see that? Now I keep the food and the water outside in the run, and small run that I have. I don't keep it inside the coop because they'll make a mess and they may spill water, and that water can turn into condensation eventually and get on their combs and freeze it, and they'll get a frostbite after that. But right now, yeah, it's relatively clean. I do add a straw every 4 or 5 days, and yeah, they turn that stuff around. And one thing I have to do, because they don't like the snow, as soon as it stops snowing here in the next couple of hours, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear a lot of this. I'm going to clear a path, not a whole lot, because there's quite a lot here. I'll be here all day shoveling, but once I clear a path, I'll add some straw and they will walk on straw. But right now they don't want to come outside because they don't like the feel of the snow under their feet. And the coop should be built in a way to prevent drafts from hitting the chickens directly. I bought this coop last year and it's solidly built. No holes, and there is no drafts that can get in. However, you do need good ventilation because chicken poop has moisture and ammonia, and too much of it is unhealthy. I do have a couple of vents. There's one up there and one right over here. Yeah, you can see it from the outside. You need ventilation, good ventilation. I keep the windows closed in the winter, but I do open up these windows in the spring. Now, most of the time, that exit door that they use to leave the coop, I leave it open most of the time because the temperatures here are not super cold. I only close that door when the temperature falls below zero Fahrenheit. But most of the year, I leave it open and it doesn't affect them at all. And as you can see, this coop is well built. It has no holes. Obviously it has insulation on the ceiling, and the straw here acts as insulation on the floor. Now, one thing about keeping that door open, the exit door, is that they come and go as they please. Now, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, I do use the deep litter bedding system, and I use straw, and this helps insulate the floor of this coop. And like I said, I add a couple of inches every so often, every 4 or 5 days or so. Sometimes less, sometimes more. And it keeps the floor warm. And lastly, I offer them a bedtime snack. I usually give them corn. Scratch corn right before they go to bed or right before the sundown. Why? Because the corn takes a long time to digest, and the extra feed will help them keep warm at night for hours. Right, Layla? So guys, my chickens are happy. They're healthy. I have had no problem so far. Other than the snow. They just don't like the snow, like I said a couple of minutes ago. So this is my nest box. There are 5 in there. So I'm going to clean up a little bit and see if I have any eggs. I mean, it's early. I gave them their corn a little early today, but I'll come back tonight. I'll give them more. It's about, I'm gonna guess, about 9 a.m. right now. I should have some eggs and more later. Right now I have two eggs. These blue ones are ceramic eggs. I use the ceramic eggs so they get out of the habit of pecking the eggs and breaking them. I did have that problem maybe 3 or 4 months ago, but not anymore. Right now I have 2 eggs. I'll have more later, probably 1 more. Now, I do have to mention that they have slowed down in egg production, but that's not because of the cold. That's because of the short daylight hours. Right now I'm getting, what, 8.5 hours of daylight, and they need more like 12 to 14 hours to lay eggs. But yeah, I can supplement the coop with the light, turn it on at 6 o'clock in the morning and turn it off at 9 o'clock at night so they can lay more eggs. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let them be, give them a break for the winter. And of all my breeds, only the Isa Browns right here, These are the ones that are laid. Every now and then I'll get an egg from a Barnevelder or the Australorps, but these are egg laying machines. They produce an egg, or they lay an egg, no matter what the temperature is. So what are the heat lamps and brooder heaters for? For baby chicks that haven't grown out their feathers yet. Click on one of the two videos here and I will show you how I used one of them last year.